Today we're checking out the Fenix HL17R, and this isn't your average headlamp. This is more of like a multi-tool flashlight that you can wear. You can clip it onto yourself, you can stick it anywhere. There's a couple of magnets there on the back, and it's extremely light. It's 65 grams, produces up to 500 lumens. And you've also got these RGB scene modes in there too. You've even got gesture control. You can turn it on with a wave. So let's take a closer look. So in terms of what you get in the box, you get the light itself. Of course, you get a headband, and this is an interesting headband. It's kind of minimalist looking, and this end bit here is adjustable, so I'm assuming that this top bit goes over your head, this one goes over the back, or you can put them both over the back of your head as well. You can just even them out by pressing this button and pulling like that. That will just shorten that one here on the back a little more. And you've also got this clip here as well, so that just clips on the back, either configuration. It's quite simple to add this thing onto the device as well, so the headband, so it just kind of slides in like that, and then you move it upwards to take it off. Fenix also include this USB-C charging cable, plus you get an instruction manual and warranty card. And here's the box that it comes in, so if you want to pause the video, have a read of the specifications, it's all here. Okay, so here is a little close-up of the HL17R, and Fenix has opted for this plastic construction, but it does feel tough enough for most purposes. Definitely doesn't feel flimsy at all, and you do get IP66 water and dust resistance, also 1 meter impact protection. And basically you control the modes with this rotating dial here. You can see it's like on the bottom point like that, so it's like a center point, and then the lock mode there. And there's also this dual switch that you operate the light with as well. It's very glove friendly. The switches are large enough, and it's great also for one-handed operation. And I do like that there is this gesture control. So if you have the lights on, basically like that, and then you activate the gesture sensor, you got to press and hold. There we go, it's activated, and just press and hold again and it will turn off. There's a USB-C charging port here on the bottom of the light that would have to be internally waterproofed, and there is a 1000 milliamp hour battery inside. I'm assuming it's a lithium polymer battery. So looking down the top of the light, you can see that's the main LED rated at 500 lumens, white LEDs, so it's enough for most tasks. And all of the RGB and flood modes are underneath this white, opaque white diffuser, inner diffuser, and there is also a metal heatsink here in the back. I'm pretty sure they must be using some cob LEDs or RGB LEDs, I guess. All right, so I'm going to just give you a little rundown of the UI. So you've got the lock mode here. So basically you can put it into that center pivot point there to access that main beam mode. Now you can actually just press and hold to turn it on and off like that, or you can pop it into lock, that will turn it off automatically. But yeah, once you're in that main beam mode, you just press and you can activate, go up and down between those 4 modes. So eco, low, medium, high. It does have memory mode as well, thankfully. So there we go. And this mode here at the bottom, or the RGB and auxiliary modes, that's what they call their Aurora mode. And I really like how smooth and, I don't know, just perfectly uniform the beam looks from this diffuser inside. Almost looks like a fluorescent, what do you call it, those fluorescent bulbs. And you know, you've got this main kind of flood reading light mode, which is kind of like a warmer sort of light. Almost looks a bit rosy, and there's a red mode in here as well, plus you've got this emergency mode with flashy red and blue colors in there to attract attention. So I ran a ceiling bounce test here on the high mode, 500 lumens, and you can see you get close to 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes of runtime before the light steps down. By the 2-minute mark, you can see the light is sitting on about 70%. It's a further step down, and by 8 minutes you're sitting on just under 60% output. I also ran a bunch of tests with my Audible Lightmaster Pro, and you can see here on the high mode, you get 112 meters of throw, which is pretty decent considering how small that reflector is in there. On the medium mode, 60 meters of range, and you can see the CRI is still fairly low, 61 to 62. CCT was between 5,200 to 5,400. At 1 meter, I wasn't able to get a reading on both the reading light and the red light. So some considerations if you're thinking of getting the Fenix HL17R. So the first one is the plastic body. So obviously it's lighter, but it is less impact resistant than metal. And with that said, it does feel fairly solid and good quality. And the second consideration is the mounting system. I do find it's a little bit fiddly. Like sometimes I don't know which way to put the light in, but you know, you tend to just figure it out, I guess. As long as this bit is coming down like that, that's the way that you attach it. If you attach it the other way, it doesn't sit properly, so it has to be attached that way, with these buttons facing up. So yeah, you can sort of get used to it, but I just find that, yeah, you know, just if it locked in place completely, I would feel more at ease. You know, if I pulled the light up like that, it would just come off. Also, the articulation doesn't feel as smooth as other headlamps, and there's limited articulation as well. So yeah, you can face it downwards slightly, but that's pretty much it. The third consideration is, you know, this thing produces 500 lumens, so yeah, mid-range, short to mid-range, so definitely not for long-range use or tactical use, more for kind of a general user. The fourth consideration is that this gesture sensor might accidentally trigger if you're working in close quarters to objects, so about maybe 5 centimeters or less. So yeah, if that is an issue, just make sure you disable it. So pretty simple, and again, it's hard to actually enable the thing. You got to turn the light on first and then press and hold that proximity sensor button to activate and deactivate it, so it's unlikely you'll accidentally turn it on and off. I also find that this center pivot point doesn't really feel, yeah, you know, there is a little lock on there, but it could have been made more obvious, you know, because yeah, I mean, if they just swap that and the bottom flood function, auxiliary functions be better, so at least I know that when I flick it all the way down, it's going to go to that highest, you know, highest main beam mode. Finally, there is no replaceable battery on this light, so yeah, once the battery finishes up, that's it. And couldn't find any screws on the housing. I don't actually know how you take this thing apart. Overall, if you are looking for a fun, compact and hands-free headlamp slash EDC flashlight for camping, running or DIY, something that's flexible for both close and mid-range tasks, the HL17R is a fantastic little choice. And this is not the light if you're a hardcore range or tactical user, but yeah, it's more for everyday usage, everyday portability, because it's just so light. And I really like that this also has some fun colored modes added in, especially that red mode. I mean, the red mode is something that I use all the time at night anyway. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is this the type of light that you'd use? And if you have questions as well, let me know. I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, share it with someone who might be interested. Just helps me to get my channel out to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews and keep up to date with the latest flashlight news, make sure you subscribe. Fenix HL17R, and this is the spot beam that's on the highest mode and gets into the center of that field pretty easily and kind of tints the trees out the back, but it's difficult to see on camera. And I really like the beam profile. You've got quite a large hotspot with a ton of spill. It doesn't go all the way into your peripherals, but yeah, almost. And that's the low, medium, high turbo, low, medium, high turbo. So yeah, the low's not even really visible on camera. Medium, be a great little walking light, and I just love that it has this clip attachment as well. It's like a 2-in-1 clip light and headlamp. And I'll just go for a little walk so you can see the flood and auxiliary modes. Fenix HL17R, and this is the spot beam here. Let's just cycle through the different modes. So it's your kind of lowest mode, so low, medium, high, and turbo. Low, medium, high, turbo. It's a really balanced beam, throwy, but still very useful with a lot of flood. Hot spots nicely blended into the spill, and let's flip this on to the kind of flood mode now. Don't know if it will even show up here on camera. It's not really showing up, it's a bit difficult to see. I'll go for a bit of a walk.